What you watching?
Talking about the MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. This show is called What If? It's on Disney+. It's an animated series, the first animated series within the MCU, and we're on Season 1, Episode 8, What If Ultron won? 31 minutes from Disney+. Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton, I think is what I said, to seek to destroy killer robot Ultron following a cataclysmic event. Holy cow. I'm just going to give it up right now for the episode before the season finale.
I second those claps.
Andy, was this the best one yet?
I think so.
I mean, hands down, right?
Especially rewatching it right before this, I was like, all right, I wanted to watch it again, kind of.
Yes, the end of the episode, number 8, what happened? Thor partied on Earth, he cleaned it up, happy ending, except Ultron shows up at the end with the body, the vision that he created. He gets the body. If you're familiar with the storyline of the MCU, you always got to do this with this show. What's happening? The Watcher in this show is telling you about different realities, different from what you've seen in the MCU so far. In the original MCU timeline, what they call it in Loki,
oh my God, why?
We'll think of it. It was it's not the ultimate timeline, but the best timeline. What are synonyms for best? Top.
We'll come back to
Premiere, Prime. That's DC, like Earth Prime. The sacred.
That's it.
The sacred timeline.
Thank you. Wow.
So that's what the MCU kind of is, right? The first movies, the Infinity Saga. This is the ultimate timeline. What happened? Ultron, Avengers: Age of Ultron. Remember that movie? Maybe the best Avengers flick. I don't know.
It's close. It's close.
Infinity War and Endgame, though, it's like hard to you start battling against those. But man, this movie is almost perfect, maybe perfect. Ultron, his dream is this, right? Tony Stark creates him. He's a sentient being. He's got to create a body. In the movie, the Avengers steal the body. They create the Vision. And in this one, they don't do that. Basically, he gets his body, and this episode is at an 11 from the moment it starts to the moment it ends. Like, you got to go bing, bang, boom. And I think we should just get right into the story. Let's just do it. Okay, so Ultron gets this body and immediately takes it up a notch. So in Avengers: Age of Ultron, they beat him pretty quickly. Sokovia, gets damaged in the process. But in this one, he gets that Mind Stone, he gets the body, and he immediately gets access to the nuclear codes. And he bombs all of Earth. And there's, Tony Stark's there. The Avengers are down. Cap's down. Thor's down.
That's messed up.
Tony's like, I created you to save everybody. It's very much like, you were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. It was very much like that speech.
Oh, yes.
And he's like, don't do this, but he does. And Clint and Natasha, they're up in a plane somewhere, and they're like, we're too late, and the Earth explodes. Earth's gone.
Rip. See you later.
And this is the first 3 minutes. And as Ultron's standing there, he's like, oh, okay, cool, I did it. Who shows up? Thanos. I think if you watch these side by side, I'm sure a lot of fans have done this online, from Infinity War entrance to this entrance, they were play by play the same walk, don't you think?
It had to be.
It was the same
exact sound, same everything.
Same everything, except what's different? In this one, basically just calling Vision like a bitch.
Yeah.
Basically hey, you know how you could have killed this guy? Mind Stone beam him right down his body, cuts him in half, kills him. He's dead. Thanos is dead. Immediately. And boom, Infinity Gauntlet falls to the ground. Ultron walks over, grabs the stones, gets them all, puts them in his body, creates a mega suit around his Vision body, and immediately realizes there are worlds outside my own, makes his own Ultron army out of nowhere because of the Reality Stone, just makes them appear, and they go off everywhere. They destroy Asgard. They destroy Ego. They destroy Sakaar.
Sakaar, yeah.
The Sovereign, the Nova Prime, wherever where they live, and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ego.
Ego, yep. I mean, he's just killing one after the other. You see the Guardians die. You see all these characters you've watched over the years just explode. He's just going one by one, until someone shows up. We know her. It's Captain Marvel. The baddest of the bad, right? Earth's mightiest protector who never is around. And literally shows up on one of the planets, drills him down to the middle of the core, and she's like, "You can't win. You can't win." Got him all the way down. He looks at her. He goes, "I've already won." And he just like opens his eyes and explodes, I don't know, 50 planets at once. Right?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's dead.
How?
Everyone's dead. There's like no one in the universe. He's sitting there. He's like, all right, it's pretty quiet.
How do you beat this?
Yeah. Like, what do you do next? Or what do you mean?
We'll get there later. But
yeah, right. Well, the Watcher's talking, right? And this is where we've been saying this, right? The Watcher's getting more and more involved. Okay, guys, he's part of the story. Ultron hears the Watcher and starts immediately going to find him. He's like, I'm gonna try to find him in this guy that's looking at me, and he's hunting, and he's looking, and he's looking. All the while, we get back to the Avengers that we saw. Actually, how the episode opens. I didn't even talk about how it actually opens. It opens in a future dystopian world where the only people really left are Natasha and Clint. And they're on motorcycles. They're fighting Ultron droids. So, like, from the beginning, you're like, okay, I know Ultron's around, but we could have never imagined the scale of which he did this and destroyed. Did you have any idea it was going to, like, get, like, this crazy like this?
No, not at all.
I thought it was going to be more like the Avengers fighting him.
Remember, like, the first episode when we were like, hey, is this show going to be that good?
Well, after the first episode, right?
Right.
But I'm going to give us a pat on the back that, like, we had some real hype about this show. Like, you know, I was really getting amped up about it. The payoff is here. And I can't wait to do Prediction Town on this one because we got a finale tomorrow. That's, for you guys, it's live right now. But anyway, let's keep this going, wrap up the story. He's going after the Watcher. All right, the Watcher's watching now Clinton, Natasha, back to them. They're trying to solve this thing. How are they doing this? They're scouring the Earth for an analog type of technology that Ultron hasn't got into, like from a network, to hijack Ultron's system, essentially, give him a virus. And the way they do this is they go to some hidden bunker that only has analog files in boxes. This is how they fought against Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron. They pulled out the boxes. They figured out that, what's his name, that I couldn't remember, the Wakanda thief that ends up getting the metal arm because Ultron chops off his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
What's his name in the
Ulysses Claw?
Yes. You remember that's how they discovered him in Age of Ultron. They're like, let's pull out the boxes. Same thing happens here, except it's some underground old Russian base. What else does Natasha find there? But Red Guardian's shield.
Awesome.
So awesome. She's using it, puts it on her back. She's fighting and stuff. And the Watcher is sitting there watching, like, here's the thing you need to find. They find it in the box. What is it? Dr. Zola. If you might remember from
never thought I'd see that guy again.
You thought it was over. You see this guy in Captain America, the First Avenger, and then when do you see him again? Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
And Natasha and Steve are in the bunker. He's in this thing. Well, Natasha and Clint go visit the same exact machine, same bunker, except instead of Natasha and Steve, now it's Natasha and Clint. And basically they pull the virus out of him. He agrees to it because it's like his own survival, even though they blow him up. Right?
Because Clint has a USB arrow at all times.
Of course. Especially in an Age of Ultron. In the Age of Ultron, you got to always have a USB with you.
You're right.
Just in case you find a virus. He finds it. He plugs it in. Here's the idea. Shoot one of the droids with this thing. It will project a signal, and it'll shut him down. This is it. You can save the universe. And the Watcher's like on edge, and he's like, okay, they got the thing. They got the virus. Thank goodness. And he's like back in his little multiverse quarters. He takes a breath. Ultron busts right through the wall. Begin the most epic cosmic battle between two super beings. This is the MCU payoff that you've been wanting to see. Granted, it's animated, not dogging at all. What did we say when we were watching this? They're going to win awards
to come.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to win awards for this. And it's also the reason that they put their 10 times the budget behind their animation studios. This show looks legit. It sounds legit. And it feels legit. That being said, I cannot wait to see some of these level things in the live action MCU.
For sure.
Like when we're talking about Kang level, Watcher level. Can't wait to get to prediction. I keep getting ahead of myself.
I know.
But like that's where this show's leading. That's what this show is doing to our brains. It's like propelling our predictions. It's like what's going to happen after this. So ultimate fight scene. These two go at it. The Watcher's involved. They crash through multiple multiverses. You're seeing all sorts of different planets. And Ultron is basically whipping that ass. Like he's really like beating this guy. Even whenever the Watcher puts on his like Thanos looking armor and like really goes to town, what does he eventually have to do, Andy? He has to run.
And headbutt.
He's headbutting Ultron.
He's got a big ass head.
He does have a big ass head, but I'm like, God, this come down to headbutting? You guys are these cosmic beings. Back on Earth, Clint makes the ultimate sacrifice and saves Natasha from a whole swell of Ultron droids. This is after he's already got that arrow into one of the heads. So Zola's kind of in one of these Ultron things. And Natasha basically says, listen, man, Clint just died. Why aren't you propelling your signal out to shut down Ultron? Like, why are you here and it's not working? And he says, Ultron he is not in the observable universe. Meaning he is outside of their universe, where is he? Battling the Watcher. And he gets to a point where, again, the Watcher leaves. Ultron, that you think this is the end right here. Ultron's sitting there by himself. I forget what he says exactly, but the camera like ends on him and he's just like, I can see everything.
You'll never stop. You can never escape me.
Something like that. Flash over. You're like, okay, wow, that's going to be the next episode. Oh, wait, one more scene. The Watcher, where'd he go? The one little reality, the one little prism, little prism, with Doctor Strange Supreme. Is that what he's called? Strange Supreme.
Think so.
Yeah. Just it sounds like the weirdest pizza you've ever ordered. The Strange Supreme. And where he finds him,
terrible.
This is from episode 4, and he's there. It's the dark guy, the dark Doctor Strange, and he says, I need your help. And credits roll. The Watcher's with the Dark Strange. I'm going to give it up.
What's going to happen?
1 to go. So let's recap, right? Because this is the preseason finale. So we start with Peggy Carter. We get all the episodes since. The Avengers die. We get Dark Doctor Strange. We get Thor's an only child. We get zombies.
T'Challa Star-Lord.
T'Challa. He's in a couple episodes. Yep. And here we are. Everything connecting to itself within the series. Doctor Strange Supreme getting pulled back in. This is all now a mega event. What did you say earlier during dinner on the couch? You're like, it's almost like
it's just mini Avengers, all individual stories building up to one penultimate, just ridiculous, just action fest. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen now.
It's almost like it's like the MCU, but like shrunk down to 9 episodes. Like you got all these little mini stories, and now they're all connecting in this real big way. This is where I got to contain my nerd inside me, because I'm literally thinking, you asked me what I was going to predict. I'm like, I feel like this ending is going to like directly play a role in like the live action storytelling. And I don't know how, I don't know what that means. I feel like it'd be cool if they did my idea of like taking it from animated to like live action to where like it jumps. I feel like that's just me getting my hopes up too high. Like this show's its own thing, and like animated is animated, right?
Yeah.
But it's also like Loki ends, this show begins. It's like, for me, it's like big picture storytelling. How is this going to play a role in the overarching story of the MCU? I'm excited to see how.
Yeah. Or were they doing that to make us the timing of that so that we were aware of like the multiverse and what that is? Or is it right? Is this just truly like a part of a linear story?
Well, and look at it this way. Whenever in Loki, we're talking spoiler alerts for Loki a little bit now. They're like, okay, all these universes are just, spiraling, right? What if is just a few stories? It's just like, let's look at this one where there are zombies. Let's look at this one where T'Challa's Star-Lord, and now this Ultron. I mean, he has the potential to destroy any of them. And it's like, what kind of level villain are we talking about here? Because this is canon. This is an Ultron that, it's a cartoon. That Ultron is out there in the MCU just popping through multiverse walls and like making shit happen. So I just don't know. Will it end and it's just like kind of another cliffhanger until season 2? Could be, but I think that Marvel is just, they're connecting it all now.
Close.
What do you think?
Maybe. I think.
What do you got?
I think for sure the episode's just going to be the Watcher collecting everybody from these episodes. There's going to be like the fight scene in this between the Watcher and Ultron was so amazing. It was just gorgeous from like start to finish. Like if they have a massive battle like that, and I think we've kind of seen it in like these previews, kind of there's scenes that we haven't seen yet that are clearly in the finale of Ultron.
Good call.
Is in there. So it's just gonna be Avengers, but in a short 30-minute drawn format.
Yeah,
I think it's
a good guess because he gets the Strange Supreme, so they're kind of like basically saying like, all right, we're gonna get people to help.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't, as to how they're gonna beat him, I have no clue.
So probably like you get like the Peggy Carter that like maybe would join from the other one again.
There's got to be a big hero, like there was for Endgame. So maybe I have no clue who would take that part up.
Like, oh, you're thinking like what Iron Man did?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, who does that in this one? Like maybe it's well, I know that the next episode is, I think it's the last time we hear Chadwick Boseman. I think I saw a tweet about that. Like this next episode will be the last time we hear him.
Gotcha.
Like we'll be past. And who knows, man? That's a good question too. Who's gonna be the big heroes? Who are gonna be like the big 1 or 2 or 3? All right, so that was episode 8. What if Ultron won? Best one yet. I think none of us could have predicted that it was gonna go this big. I feel like in the first season. And then the next episode, thanks to our boy Scotty and the Mostly Superheroes squad, we get a poster. They've done these posters each week. All right, here's a character we didn't even talk about, Andy, that's apparently going to be at the front and center. It's Gamora. And it looks like Thanos armor Gamora. Like she's like going to have the Infinity Stones or something.
I didn't think of putting that into my prediction, but I don't know how that fits in there at all.
Exactly. Like how is this Gamora? Because we haven't seen Gamora at all.
Oh, you're right.
Not in one episode. What if?
Okay.
Not even the Guardians episodes.
I can't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah, this is tomorrow for us, man. This is now for you. If you haven't watched What If yet, it's just waiting for you on Disney Plus. But we can't wait to see this thing tomorrow. Big finale. We'll be talking about next week. Nerding out about it hard. Any final thoughts for this week, Andy?
No, I think I don't know what to think about how this is going to integrate with the rest of the MCU, but I think more so they're more likely to just kind of have maybe callbacks, or like, especially in like the Doctor Strange movie, they could go through so many multiverses and show so many people from the show, even just like in a glimpse like that. And it would be kind of a cool callback. I think that's the way they're doing it. I don't think that's going to specifically connect like you were saying, but
right.
You never know. I've been wrong before.
Me too. Me too. Too many times. It's part of the gig. I think we learn very much. You know, I think I don't know if we're quite 50-50, but, you know, you toss it up, sometimes you hit them out of the park, sometimes you're completely wrong. Cannot wait to see it. Either way, well done to the team at Marvel Studios on this one. Can't wait to see the finale. And What If, along with all the MCU in the right watch order, the order that you want to watch it in, at this point, with as much as there is, chronologically, you can find it all at mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. You have friends trying to watch the MCU, trying to get into it. You have a place to send them, watch order, explanation videos, reviews, ratings, anything that you're looking for around the MCU. It's all in that library. Go check it out. I promise you won't regret it. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it is time for the meat. We talked about a movie last week. It's time for the sequel. That's right. It's Venom. Let There Be Carnage. We're going to break it down, the review, the rating, how we feel. Stick around. We'll be right back.